Thank you, John. As you know, last month, two brothers allegedly terrorized Massachusetts for days after the Boston Marathon bombing.
And you may be surprised to know that Richmond experienced a similar situation decades ago with the Briley Brothers. 8 News reporter Josh Landon has the shocking story of their 7-month killing spree. He actually talked to one of the officers who helped put them behind bars. And as we begin, we warn you, this story and its images may not be fit for young children.
The year is 1979 in the city of Richmond.
Very rough, very hard time.
Richmond City Sheriff C.T. Woody takes us back in time to his days as a young patrol officer.
Crime was on an uproar in the city of Richmond, particularly homicides.
Investigators say these 4 men, Linwood Briley, younger brothers Anthony and James Briley, along with their accomplice Duncan Meekins, are the reason for much of the bloodshed in 1979. March 12th, the criminals knock on a couple's front door in Henrico County, claiming he has car trouble and needs to use their telephone. The oldest brother, Linwood, forces his way into the home. Linwood pulls out a gun on the husband and wife and tells his younger brother, Anthony, to come inside.
Linwood was the leader. He was the leader. Whatever he said, that's actually what went, you know.
The Briley brothers tie up the couple, clean the home of all valuables, and douse each room with kerosene before setting the structure on fire. Quickly driving away from the area, the men are not around when the Henrico couple escape the fire, making them the sole survivors of the Briley brothers' killing spree. Several months later, the city is on edge. The Briley brothers find their 4th homicide victim on the night of September 14th. Well-known DJ Johnny Gallagher is performing with his band at a South Richmond nightclub. Johnny G steps outside for a quick break while the Briley brothers roam the city. Linwood Briley sees and quickly assaults Gallagher and throws him into the trunk of his own Lincoln Continental. The brothers drive Gallagher out to the James River, take him out of the trunk, and shoots him at point-blank range. It takes police 2 days to find Gallagher's body in the river.
I went to a lot of the crime scenes.
Sheriff Woody says he can still remember the crime scene at this home on 4th Avenue, the murders of Charles Gardner and a blind 79-year-old woman by the name of Blanche Page.
Police say they believe robbery was the motive. They found the house ransacked.
The Briley brothers use a variety of weapons, including a baseball bat, knives, and a pair of scissors. Police spot Gardner downstairs and Page upstairs in her bedroom.
They put butcher knives all the way down through the floor.
The final murders take place at this home behind me in the 2300 block of Barton Avenue. The Briley brothers walk up to longtime neighbor Harvey Wilkerson, his pregnant wife, and their 5-year-old son. And this would be the last time anyone will see them alive. Known for scaring people, the Briley brothers and Duncan Meekins bully Harvey Wilkerson to letting them inside his home. The men overpower the family and shoots Wilkerson to death. They also rape Wilkerson's wife before killing her. They even killed the 5-year-old boy. Spending months working to build a case and gather evidence, police come close to catching the Briley brothers on this very night.
We were staking out somewhere far back, heard the shots, didn't know where they were coming from. Saw the van they were driving about 15, 20 minutes later, chased them, they got away, and the next day the call came in that the apartment door was open, and we went in there and the place was just full of blood.
Soon after this terrible crime, the Briley brothers' killing spree comes to an end. During a stakeout one night, a number of officers, including C.T. Woody, arrest Linwood Briley and his brothers. Police haul all of them away in handcuffs. While in custody, Duncan Meekins decides to cooperate with police in exchange for life in prison.
If it wasn't for Duncan Meekins actually testifying with all the physical evidence and things that we had, he really put the icing on the cake.
Duncan Meekins testifies, identifying Linwood Briley as the mastermind for the assault and murder of Johnny Gallagher, leading to a conviction by the jury. Among other homicides, James Briley is found guilty for the murders of Harvey Wilkerson, his pregnant wife, and their 5-year-old son.
I know there were more than what they were convicted of.
Linwood and James Briley are not shown any mercy, and both get the death penalty. Due to limited involvement with the crimes, Anthony Briley gets life in prison. But despite these convictions, this is James Briley in a jailhouse interview.
I didn't commit any murders. I was not out robbing people. I was not this animal that the press had made me out to be.
Most hardcore criminals never admit that they actually did it. It was always they've been framed, or they don't have the evidence, you didn't prove it.
On May 31st, 1984, Linwood and James Briley lead a 6-minute escape from Mecklenburg Correctional Center, using handmade knives and forcing the prison officers to call an ambulance to use as their getaway vehicle.
They dressed up and they thought it was just pushing out somebody in the ambulance and in the truck, and just drove right on away so smooth.
A manhunt stretches over the Virginia and North Carolina border. 150 armed law enforcement officers from 5 different agencies post guard every 50 to 100 yards looking for the fugitives. Then a call comes in of these young children spotting an African-American man running through a wooded area near Route 707.
I asked them to describe the individual that they saw. They described him, and when I showed them the picture, they immediately went blam right to James Briley.
Despite working around the clock for days, authorities call off 6 searches without finding the Briley brothers. These dangerous men on the loose puts the city of Richmond back on edge. Being one of the arresting officers in 1979, C.T. Woody fears retaliation.
I was relieved the whole thing was over.
A group of heavily armed FBI agents and police finally captured the 2 Briley brothers on June 19th while hiding out in this garage in Philadelphia. Authorities also arrest the brothers' uncle for helping them. These are the comments of Linwood and James Briley during their extradition back to Richmond, Virginia.
Brother says you're innocent, are you?
We are innocent. We haven't committed no crime. We never have committed none.
I'm innocent of everything that was done in Virginia.
Excuse me.
Why do you have your face covered?
Because I don't want to see you.
Their appeals to escape the death penalty run out. On October 12, 1984, Linwood Briley is executed by the electric chair.
The order of the Circuit Court of the City of Richmond has been carried out. Linwood Briley was placed in the execution chamber at 11 o'clock.
He was sweating, he was shaking, you know, and they carried him up there.
James Briley execution comes the following year in April, also by the electric chair. The execution of the Briley brothers causes racial tension.
A lot of tension, a lot of name calling, you know, some were against the death penalty. Some said, you know, using racial slurs.
Anthony Briley is still serving a life sentence at the Powhatan Correctional Center and has been denied parole by the state board. He also declined our request to speak with him.
I've never seen anybody meaner than the Briley's.
In Richmond, Josh Landon, 8 News.